Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Fireside Chat, a monthly podcast where four friends get together, get some drinks, and talk about Dissidia, Final Fantasy, Opera, Omnia. So if my fellow hosts would please introduce yourselves for those that are not familiar with you, starting with Rez.
Hi guys, I'm Rez. I do gotcha reaction videos on YouTube, and I also do Twitch occasionally, but more importantly, this is Teddy. You all know him by now, but he deserves an intro every time. And I am having a White Claw. I apologize in advance if I seem like a little distracted, currently going through a purchasing process for something that is a little time sensitive.
Like eBay?
No. It's a whole thing. I'll explain to you guys later. But
okay.
But yeah.
Okay, Jen.
Hey, happy Lunar New Year to everyone who celebrates.
Yes, happy Lunar New Year. My red robe.
And I am on YouTube. I do DFFOO runs, usually the kind to help people out, and I do meme pool videos. And yeah, I am the Godfather. Obviously, that is something that will last for a long time because 40 will never beat me again. What about that 40?
Yes, I'm the former Godfather. I acknowledge that Jin is the Godfather of the DFFOO community. You guys can find me on YouTube, on Twitch, on Discord. Recently came back to YouTube, early January. I'm only having water because my allergies have been killing me all day, and if I have any kind of alcohol, it's not going to help it. So if you guys see me turning around and blowing my nose, that's why. I had a big dust ball blow up in my face this afternoon when I was trying to vacuum. So not fun, but I'm still here. I'm alive. Cobra Kai.
Cheers to being alive.
Cheers to being alive.
Cobra Kai. Well, glad to have you, fam. I'm sorry you're having allergies, but to me, you will always be the Godfather. I don't care what Jin Lee says.
That's why we're not friends. I don't like this.
Oh, sadness. LIDZ here, YouTube content creator, Twitch also. I love the Shira Nui deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, so just had to throw that out there. I'm looking at you, that guy. All right, let's duel sometime. Oh jeez, yep, gross. All right, but guys, so my fellow co-host, now actually, quick disclaimer, right? Before we do get into everything, we just want to throw it out there, guys, that in regards to the anniversary, I know that there was a lot of players, especially in the I don't know, you guys noticed it too, right? In the chat, they were just not happy. They were calling that the anniversary was bad. It was just trash, blah blah blah. Just don't give the devs any shit, guys. Don't give the community managers any shit. It is what it is. They're not going to make everybody happy. So,
right.
All right. At least
I would say, like, most people are happy. I would just say just the vocal. The people that complain are just going to be the most vocal and the most heard. But I think everyone is pretty happy with the anniversary, at least from what I know.
So,
yep.
All right, just had to throw that out there. All right, so before we do start talking about the anniversary, how was the past month? I know we just had this was probably, I want to say, was this the shortest time span between episodes that we did? Because between the last month we had Cater, Queen, Lude, not Lude. I just call him Lude.
I don't even know how to say it still. I don't. Yeah,
Lude.
It's Liud, but his Japanese name is Ryudo. I looked at it at the FF Wiki. I'm like, why couldn't they just call him?
There are so many better ways to spell that in English, than Liud.
Yeah.
How do you get
with the double L too? Like,
Ryudo, bro, that sounds badass. All right, well, we had Lude, and then 40's favorite unit, Zell, who just came back with the crystal level 90. 40, you obviously C90 Zell, right?
Of course.
And you gave him an ultimate weapon. I know you did.
I actually did not.
Oh.
Not this time. Not this time.
Okay. Jen, how's your polls the past month for some of those units mentioned?
I mean, if Tifa got her burst in GL, I would have gotten ultimate weapon for Zell. But yeah, I skipped Cater completely because I already went too hard on Queen. So I'll get her later on the must pool Camelot. I think it's better to get her there. And then Lude, Thankfully, he wasn't too bad to me. He's good. I mean, I don't really know who he is. I just pulled because of EX shenanigans, but otherwise, he's more or less skippable. I think it's pretty an interesting cycle. What's exciting is the anniversary. How was it for you, Rez?
Yeah, I mainly skipped everybody except for Lude. I skipped, Nolan said, but we met after that happened. I skipped Cater. I already had Queen. And then I got really lucky with Lude. I did 100 tickets and I got 2 copies of Zell LD and then 2 copies of Lude LD. He's been fun so far, but yeah, that's for Ultima Weapon. I made a sword, the regular sword, and I think I also made a great sword since Zach is coming up. But yeah,
And that's for your Terra, of course it is.
Of course. By the time Terra First Plus comes out, I think I should have enough to have that sword Ultima Weapon maxed out.
Very nice.
Nice.
What about you, Lids?
I got them all. Luck was on my side. So Zell I've had Zell. And I skipped Cater. No, I skipped Queen initially because I knew that Cater was going to make a comeback, and I knew that Cater's LD debuff, that freeze like thingamabob, it does come in useful. I'll even use it from time to time here on the JP set. So I was able to get Queen, Cater. I was thinking about skipping Lude, but I was like, you know what? Let's do some tickets because he's useful. He's got some great auras. He can charge EX abilities in the Crystal level 90 era. So I was able to get his LD like within like 200 tickets and his EX weapon. So that was that.
Very nice.
Yeah, so very, very, very excited for that one. Now I did find it interesting as soon as Jin said that he wasn't too familiar with Lude. I thought about the Jaeger bomb. 2 characters being introduced that pretty much nobody really knew about. One character a lot of players aren't too crazy about, bad Jaeger bomb, even though he has the rainbows, and then Lude coming in as a support type unit. He's still pretty damn good, so it's crazy how an unfamiliar character with a good kit, can still be useful and become, I don't know, I guess a favorite in Opera Omnia.
Yeah,
it took
I remember
a little
when they.
too long. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
I just remember when they came out in JP when they were announced, and I was like, "Who are these people, and where are the tactics characters?" Just that's my reaction all the time to these random people that just come out of nowhere. What were you gonna say, Riz?
Oh, I was just going to say it took me like entirely too long to realize that when you said Jaeger bomb, you were talking about Jegron or whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
I was like, wait, who is there a character named like Jaeger or something? Like, is Aaron Jaeger in this game? I was very confused.
Cool.
Too much AOT on the mind.
Yeah, for real.
No, yeah, sorry. It's just Yagran, and then I think when he first came out on JP, I was like, wait, who's this person? I'm like, is it Jaeger? Jaeger bomb. So ever since then, I started calling him Jaeger. I didn't know who the hell he was.
I love it. I think it's a great nickname.
Okay, so that's my nickname for him. 40, you remember those days, right? JP. You're like,
Yeah, I know. I made a tweet when Jagron first came out on JP, and some people did not take too kind to it. I just called him a weirdo, and people got offended. So I jokingly started calling him.
He's
Fluffy.
Discount Thanos. He's Discount Thanos. That's all he is.
Started calling him Fluffy, and then that kind of turned into a meme
Oh,
on my streams. So people started calling him Fluffy. Yeah, I had no idea who he was.
No. And
also, his in-game face is so much weirder than like other characters' in-game faces.
really
It's
is.
like drawn on or something. It's like an image pasted on.
it's not like too realistic.
Very
like,
weird.
Is it?
Yeah, it's strange.
Compared to Lude, who's like half naked and has like angel wings, so they know half naked in the game makes money. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
so
He's discount Archangel.
He's a character from Breath of Fire. He could totally fit in Breath of Fire and like the city of what is it, Wyndham? Yeah, because they all have wings there. So
bro, I got confused for a quick second. I was like, wait, that's a Final Fantasy Breath of Fire.
no, I would
know.
say that he fits in. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh gosh damn it. But yeah, hopefully going forward with some of these new unfamiliar characters, they just give them some nice kits, kind of like Lude. They don't have to be support, but just so players don't necessarily shit on them and they actually pull for them. All right, guys. Now off to anniversary stuff that we just got 4th year anniversary. Happy 4 years, guys. The game has been going strong for 4 years. JP 5 years. So hopefully many more to come. So some of the things that we are going to be getting is the daily free multis. Have you, Rez, have you gotten anything from that yet? Because I believe it's all LDs as soon as the banner is posted, and they alternate like every 5 days. Have you got anything yet?
Yeah, it's been every time it's been a 1 out of 11, 15 CP. So nothing yet.
Okay.
What about you?
Nothing. Truthfully, just power stones. Is same for you, Jin 40? Just power stones at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, 111 pools. It's going to be really hard for me to get an LD or an EX I don't have, so I'm not planning on getting anything from those. But more than 111 pools is what I want at least. Just get some power stones.
Okay. Also, take note, Opera Omnia players, is that I'm only bringing this up because I heard about one of the previous banners, like one of those all-inclusive banners that there's no pity on these banners. Like you cannot go to the 300 G token mark and get an LD. And I heard a story from a different, I don't know if it was like on Twitter or something, that someone was pulling on one of the previous banners. I think it was the New Year's banners. They had everything on it. They were just pulling like crazy on it. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh no!
Don't
do that.
Bait banner. The bait banner.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind, friends. If it was like, I'm curious if we'll get a same banner, kind of like how JP has, the all-inclusive banner that has the force weapons on it. That might be a different story.
It's still a crapshoot.
You think
there's
so?
just too many characters that it's hard to build like a unit. Like let's say you get some random characters LD, you still need their EX, still need their other weapons. So it's just too big of a crapshoot.
Okay.
I advise against pooling on any of these kind of compilation banners.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about the difference between like a new player and an OG player? Because for a new player, that's I would
still
say
the same.
No. Now me, because I'm only saying it because I actually grabbed Rez's favorite characters. Force weapon, luckily.
Heck yeah!
but that's just really lucky. Yeah, that's just a crapshoot.
Was that from? It was from one. It was either the 50 or that one. But I got Terra's force weapon. I already had her LD and burst from before in the past, so
that's from the 50 pool. Okay. It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got Reno too.
Yes, that is correct. So I'm very excited about that one. So hopefully we get that one for the following anniversary. So that'll be exciting. Another thing that we did get, and I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts about this one, is the start dash draw reset. And in this situation, it was with Lightning with the crystal level 90 rework, but no Cloud and Squall. Now on the JP side of the game, I know that Lightning did come out before Cloud and Squall got their crystal level 90s. Now, did you guys have hopes for Squall and Cloud also getting the crystal level 90s alongside of Lightning, or do you believe what they did was fine?
I had mixed views. I thought it would have been a great opportunity because both Squall and Cloud are super popular, and it would have been nice for them to get their C90 and rework along with their BT Plus as well. But at the same time, because we got our global first burst, I think they might have seen it as like this might be too overwhelming for players who don't have a ton of burst books or ingots to green all these characters, or even green 2 of them at a time. So I could see why they probably decided not to do that. But it is a little disappointing because it would have been nice for them to have their C90s and their reworks early, seeing as Lightning was delayed, with her C90 and rework release. So I kind of see it in 2 ways, but it would have been a cool opportunity if they gave it to them early.
Okay.
I don't know. What about you, Jin?
I would say like initially I was disappointed because I was expecting all 3 of them to get their C90s because it is the C90 era, so it's kind of weird to introduce that banner and not have Cloud and Squall C90s. And Lightning, she did get delayed, which sucked, but she was treated like Vanille essentially, early C90, but late burst plus. But it is what it is. I think after sitting on it a bit, I think it's just like you said, mixed emotions. It's fine. I think they thought it'd be too much because we got the anniversary stuff and we already got time travelers like Lil Set. So I don't they didn't want to time travel also Squall and Cloud. So I think in the end it's all right. How'd you feel, Riz?
I think similarly, it's like if they had, there was already so much going on that if they had released, you know, Cloud and Squall at C90, I mean, I just immediately thought of like when they released Balthier LD last year and Vincent, and they came without LD boards. And I know that a lot of people were upset about that because I think Balthier was right when LD boards came out, and then Vincent was a couple weeks after. But I think I think it's a solid, you know, compromise, like early First Plus, but, you know, delayed C90. I'm not using any of those characters right now anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I think it keeps things interesting. And as long as they're not like, you know, some characters might get shafted, some characters might get boosted. As long as like it evens out, I'm okay with that.
Okay. I freaking blew my Cloud because I thought they were gonna get them at the same time. I guess on the bright side though is that all their weapons are on there for all three of them. You know, their LDs burst. So even if you do go on that banner, just know that Cloud and Squall are in the near future. So it's not a waste. So to say, you just have to wait for them. Now I did find it interesting though that they did put Lightning not only on the Start Dash Draw banner, but she's on a banner with Prompto with their crystal level C90s. I don't think that happened. I don't remember. I don't think that happened on the JP side because on JP I believe it was just the Start Dash.
No, for sure that's new. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's new.
That's where Prompto got delayed too. He was switched out with
Okay,
so yeah.
Do you guys have a preference of either the banners with the Prompto or just go with all three LD and Burst banners?
It's tough. If you're gonna build Cloud and Squall and you're looking for Lightning now, then I would say go for that banner. Prompto is fine, but I would say having three bursts and three LDs is so much better. And Cloud is gonna be great when he comes later with his Burst Plus and C90. So definitely a better banner if you're looking for all three for sure.
Okay. Yeah, great. No,
Yeah.
Great. Definitely great advice. So yeah, there you go, guys. And again, Cloud, Squall in the near future. So if you already blew Cloud and Squall, then there you go. Now next, guys.
Also,
go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that most likely, like we were discussing in the last episode, where Prompto would be, that just means that most likely Vanille is gonna come back with Leila, as I was thinking. So that banner is probably not gonna change anymore.
Good thing I didn't get Vanille's LD then. I'm sorry if you went ham and if you're still going for Leila because yeah, I don't know, that was kind of strange, no? Because I know
it's
because she was earlier. She was early on some point on JP, which we got. She was with Noctis, but literally Leila's like, oh, but they did toss in Garnet, which we'll talk about in a second. But I mean, Leila's literally like a month and a half away with if Vanille's going to be on there. So I don't know. I just find that very strange. On to the next topic. So guys, we actually got a new game mode, and it's called. All right, I apologize if I say this wrong. Crevass, not Crevass. Crevass.
Yeah,
I consider it like Crevice or something.
Okay,
like,
maybe it's Crev, not Crevass.
Yeah,
all right.
I think
Crevice is actually a word.
So it's Crevass,
right? Like Crevice like
means like a crack.
DICE.
Yeah, it's not spelled.
All right, I'm looking this up definitively. I'm pretty sure it's Crevasse for like the V. Yeah. Okay, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
So we got Crevass beta. And essentially it's a game mode where they have different difficulties and you can essentially add in your restrictions on it. Rez, have you tried it out yet and what do you think about it so far?
I think it's dope. I think this is exactly what we needed, like a build your own Lufenia kind of thing. It keeps things interesting. It's had me, I haven't done all of it yet, obviously. Just I procrastinate. But I think it was a really, really good idea to keep things interesting because it you have to figure out like so many different combinations. Like it's something that you really have to sit down and plan. I like sitting down and planning things. But it's causing me to bring out, characters that I haven't touched since they were released. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. Yeah, I think it was very smart of them to release something like this where it's like it's still, difficult, but it's giving us more customization. Like there's never gonna be like the same combination for anybody really. I love it. I think it's really cool. What do you think, 40?
I also love it. I think it's very unique and it gives players a little bit of creativity to pick their own poison and to customize a stage. I also challenge themselves because when you pick the specific codes, you could make it as easy as you want or as difficult as you can. It allows you to be creative with your party customization as well. And seeing as this is the beta, I hope they can bring this back when we get the actual real version, like the full version of it, and bring on even more customization. Because I was already thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, I wonder how they could make this even better. Like, what if they can allow players to build their own stage and maybe upload it to like, the shared DFFOO server, and other players can search up that unique code for that stage and try it out for themselves and get some rewards from it. I think there's a lot of possibilities with it. So I'm all for it. I love it. What about you, Jin?
Yeah, I mean, I already have a video up with like the maximum points that you need is 428. So I did challenge myself to try to get that 428 points. But I do like that they only made it 300 is the necessary amount to get all rewards. So it's you have a lot of leeway to get all the rewards. So it can be definitely very challenging. It was very challenging for me to do that. But it's not too difficult to get all the rewards. But I do say that like I really loved it because it's right down my alley. It's about building team comps, using characters that you never used before. Like that was the very first time I've ever used Kieran, and the second time I've used Zayden. So I do enjoy it, but I do see like there's actually a lot of complaints about this as well. Mostly because it does require a lot of planning and team comps, and it's like a veteran's heaven kind of thing. Like a veteran who likes to play around with things, they're gonna love it. But for newer players or people that aren't used to using a variety of their roster, it's gonna be quite difficult. So even 300 points is pretty hard because they lock out for Cosmos and they lock out for Chaos too. So you got to use kind of your worster characters there. And if you want more points, then you use the higher cards and points for your harder difficulties, but that's going to make it even harder. So it is really something that I really love, but that doesn't mean that everyone's going to love it. It's quite challenging, and it can be quite challenging with people with a smaller roster. But like I said, like I think for me, like planning it out completely from scratch was quite difficult because you gotta look through crystals, you gotta look through weapon types, and you gotta look through Lufenia codes, and you gotta look at the fight themselves with the enemies. So my video, I've seen a lot. It's gotten a lot of views so far because I think it does help people to plan their strategies not from scratch, because from scratch it's a little bit more difficult.
Very difficult. I did not do that.
Yeah, so my video's up there. I'm not trying to plug it or anything, but it is very helpful for people that are trying to not start from scratch. And the only thing I think that they should do better next time is make the resets easier, like you can reset in Transcendence much easier. Now the resets in this beta is quite difficult. You can reset by using like that character, like say you use three characters that you used already, clear the Cosmos or whatever, and then those like Lufenia fights will unclear or something. But it's still kind of annoying. And then number two is that they need to include more, at least all the weapon types for like, they don't have all the weapon types. Like if you want to do like one-time spear, like even LIDZ was just released and Zell was just released. They don't have fist, they don't have spear. So at least like give them the one time, like if you're not gonna have it 3 times spear, that's fine, but at least give 1 time spear or 1 time, you know, of all the weapon types, whip, etc. So I think it's a little too constricting when they didn't include all the weapon types for like players that don't have a vast roster. But otherwise, I think it's a really good idea, and it is a beta, so they aren't going to get it all right at once. But I do like the idea. I do like the effort. So I do love the event myself. What about you, Liz?
No, I agree 100%. The big part about this, guys, it's beta. So I have seen a few complaints here and there, but again, it's beta. So, you know, just try to give positive feedback so we could definitely make this a much more enjoyable thing. I haven't done everything yet. I'm saving it for a stream. I tried one of them, actually. I tried one of the lower level ones, and I was like, oh, this is cool. You know, messing around with pressing different buttons and checking out the orb conditions that you could possibly do. And that's pretty nice because it kind of opens it up. But I was also baffled that it was just restricted to not all of the weapon types in the game, which would have been nice. I know... Even they were restricting one because I remember I was trying to do like a 3 blue crystal and a 3 dagger run. You couldn't do 3 daggers. It had to be 2 daggers, not on the team. And I was like, what the hell? So I had to bring just a single, just off weapon. But no, I wanted to have like my 3 daggers on the same team, but unfortunately I couldn't do that. So, but aside from that, like I've always wanted a different game mode in this game. I didn't expect something like this, and this is cool because usually when they do it in other different games, I think one of them that pops into my mind that I liked was from a game called Alchemy Stars. If you guys haven't tried, they do have game modes like this where you literally pick how hard you want the stage. You want the enemies to hit harder. You want them to receive less damage, almost in the same concept. So if they start adding stuff like that, once the real version goes out, imagine if you can increase the enemy's brave damage negation. Oh man, that's going to be just brutal just to further increase the points you receive. So stuff like that, it'll definitely make it fun, possibly even more challenging. And I remember Joshua even mentioned during the live stream, you know, just if you have a community for yourselves, just do community challenges and see who can meet them. So yeah, great stuff. So I like it, and hopefully that they bring more of these in the near future.
Something quick to add, or at least for those that stream DFFOO, it could also be a way to interact with your own communities. Like your community could pick the poison for you. It's kind of a way. That's how I see it too. You can do like channel point rewards on your respective streams and be like, you know,
that could be a nitmare. Though.
Do this.
Those fights are pretty hard. Like those fights are pretty hard. It will be.
They are.
It'll be fun for the viewers to watch though. So I get where you're coming from, 40.
They do like watching people crash and burn. That's for sure.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
All good fun though.
There's some that love to watch you crash and burn, or others that just want you to bring Sid Mao. So,
yeah.
All right. Now, speaking about a global first, we're getting something else. This is global first. I hope I pronounced this one correctly. Annular Equinox. I didn't want to say that one wrong.
Annular. I mean, that's how I'd say it.
Okay. Annular.
Okay. I didn't want to say it too. Yeah.
Annular. Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. But this is an upcoming event, and truthfully, kind of just reminds me of just Abyss, because from what it reads in the description, it has normal hard quests that have, you know, perfect style lockouts, and we are going to be getting the Stratum 6 upcoming, which I do believe it's been a little bit since we've gotten those. Jin, you enjoy Abyss Perfectum Stratums, don't you?
Yeah, we mentioned the last Fireside Chat that I was hoping that they'd give new content, like in terms of like Equinox. I loved it. It's like a mini Transcendence. So they did give it that one time, and now they're giving it again, which is amazing. And Abyss, we haven't had in a while. I like Equinox better than Abyss because I do like the kind of Transcendence style lockouts better, which is why I like this Crevass. But yeah, both very, very looking forward to it. And they also should come with, they didn't say which units will come on those banners, but people that are actually waiting for Garnet's Burst, the next 2 characters most likely will be pretty good too. If I'm gonna, they're most likely moving up those seasonal banners. So actually, like they did delay a lot of seasonal and shaft a lot of seasonal units, but now they're actually taking some of those seasonal banners that are coming later and moving them up to here. And so we are possibly expecting Alice and Echo. So those are good units. So people that went really hard for the burst initially, you might be getting dupes later, because those are some good units to pull for too. So just PSA.
Cautionary tale.
We don't know for sure. I'm just putting it out there that the next two banners that we get for those events might be pretty damn good.
That didn't occur to me, because I know that I think there was like 2 banners that weren't mentioned or something that they didn't cover, but yeah,
they just said Garnet Burst will be included. Yeah, they didn't reveal. They didn't want to reveal, but it is like some time traveler LDs, and Echo is great for new players. So yeah,
I'd be fine with that 100%. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely looking forward to that too. Then I've always loved the stratums in this game, the perfectum stratums. Just those kind of restrictions just lets me just bring out units that I've been sitting on the bench, just eager to go out and get into the actual fight. Rez, are you a fan of the perfectum stratums?
Yeah, I really like them. I'm the kind of person that when I max out a character, I want to use them in everything possible. So I'll build a team around that character. But as a result, sometimes when that character fills a specific slot, like DPS or something, like it doesn't give other characters that I've pulled that fit that role enough of a chance to shine. So I like Abyss, I like Equinox, I like these lockout style events, because I get to use the characters that I pull for. I know I could use them anyway, but when I completely max out a character, I want to make sure I use them in as many things as possible. So this just gives me an excuse to use other units I've wanted to use for a while. Plus, I don't know. I love the fact that Mog got some love during the Abyss that came out on his banner. Like Mog, I feel like was a very underrated unit, and I'm very glad I picked him up. And I was glad that he was like really great for that Abyss fight. Obviously, it was there so that people would pull for him to lead it. But
too great.
He was, like, yeah.
The cheat code only you must have Mog almost.
Yeah. I just like fights and stages that help showcase units that might need a little bit more help to shine. And I feel like that's what some of these do. 40, what about you?
I enjoy all these global exclusive game modes. I do think that they're more tuned to players that have been playing longer, and just like with Crevass, newer players or returning players might find themselves overwhelmed because they don't have the roster to do it. But if you have the roster to do it, it's a ton of fun. I enjoy the challenge, especially now that we're in an era where this part of Lufenia Plus, the C90, is known to be like, that they call it garbage time, but because fights are just so easy and brave cap characters are super self-sufficient, so giving us this content that's actually challenging it's refreshing, because it allows us to team build and strategize, and rather than just pressing buttons, and not thinking. It's fun. I enjoy it too, because we didn't have this on JP. With JP, I throw Zach and Laguna and go burr, Snow and whoever, or Locke and go burr. It's I'm glad that we have this.
Garnet's gonna go burr on the rest of the content.
Yeah, literally.
Oh god, yeah, she is.
I don't know, guys.
She is.
I don't think she's that great. Ugh. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Now I'm just curious to see if you guys have any thoughts, because I know that Abyss Perfectums, Stratums, those are I would consider those for a little bit more OGs who have a little bit more of a vast roster. Do you guys have any sort of advice for newer players coming into the game, or, resing mad respect for returning players in terms of taking on the Perfectum Stratums? Because they're permanent, right? In the game, they're permanent.
The Equinox isn't permanent. The Equinox isn't
not the
permanent,
Equinox, but
Abyss.
that one.
Yeah, Abyss is.
So Jen,
Yeah.
do you have advice for newer players when it comes to Abyss perfectums?
I get a lot of questions about like in my comments about like what is best for a newer player, and my general advice is always to just relax. You shouldn't compare yourself to veteran players. You're not going to have the roster that veteran players have, so just don't care about beating the end content right away. Like sometimes you can, which is great if you pull those characters, but don't pull just to complete the end content because you'll miss rewards. Because pulling and wasting resources just for characters to beat that specific fight is going to waste more resources than you could from just not doing it. So I would just say relax, slowly build your roster. First, you got to pull Garnet, pull those banners that are really good. Pull Garnet now with Lilith. You got an Enchanter, Healer, Support, and Debuffer, and then pull Locke with Tifa. Then you got amazing burst effect, amazing DPS for Tifa, and just like focus on those banners and pulling those banners. And then if you can do Abyss, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. That's my motto, because wasting resources pulling to beat content is the worst thing that you can do with your resources.
I agree 100%. All right, 40. I have a very important question to ask for you. All right.
What's up?
Firion or Locke?
They're very different, but if we're talking from a meta perspective, Locke is pretty overkill, because when he first released and I saw what this guy could do, I was legit like, wait, what? He enchants defense ignore on your party, and he also prevents your characters from dying if they get hit with an HP attack, and they, if they don't get killed, they recover 50%. And not only that, but brave refunds on top of everything he does. He has a nuke button that's not too hard. There's a little RNG involved, but you can bypass that by pressing his LD. I don't know what they were thinking by making him that powerful. He's like Indiana Jones on like Super Saiyan steroids. He's busted.
He also prevents breaks with the burst effect as well.
That's right. That too. It's like, what were they thinking, giving him this much utility? But I mean, it's cool because for a while, I don't ever think Locke was considered top tier at all until
Locke
he got
deserves his time in the sun.
Yeah,
he just got crept by Garnet. So sorry, Locke.
And he has the Bosch mechanic when your party members fall before 50%.
Yeah, for your party. I really don't know what I mean. It's cool though, but it can feel. I think I'm glad that they gave us this global exclusive content that provides a challenge, because if they continue to do that during this part of Lufenia Plus era where it's really easy, Locke makes content even easier. Like some players will feel kind of, I don't know, he might feel a bit boring, like constantly bringing him, because he's really that strong. That's how I felt when I used him a bunch on JP. Like I took him to a lot of my Lufenia Pluses after he came out, and he made content go burr. It was just ridiculous. But I'm glad he's getting spotlight. I'm glad that he's getting the spotlight with all these upgrades that he's getting. Yeah, Firion's not bad too. Firion's not bad.
I like Firion.
Yeah,
Firion's good.
Yeah.
You gotta be planning with your mats, especially with Garnet now.
Yeah.
Because you have to green her. You cannot just pull Garnet, and you need that 30% HP damage up. Well, we'll talk about it later, but
yeah.
You need to green her.
At least Firion is an Onion Knight.
Oh, poor Onion Knight.
Gosh, damn
the only reason I say that is because Firion is a protagonist and he's a returning BT with a BT plus and actually got a rework, whereas Onion Knight just got an LD board rework and C90. That was it. I don't know why.
At least he still enchants ice, okay?
I guess. Or you could just throw a Kurosame call.
So, yeah, I'm sad about Onion
Knight.
I like Onion Knight. Poor Onion Knight. But yeah.
He's cool, but they did him dirty.
No, I agree.
Somebody says, what happens when you stack Garnet with Locke? What happens is the game is broken.
it might crash. The game
It literally
might.
crashes. The
Too
game
much
crashes.
power.
We're not confirming it. We're saying it might crash. Okay, so. Rez, you're Final Fantasy 6, right? That's your game. We got we got one of the Figaro brothers, if I said that correctly, approaching. Are you gonna go ham for him?
I don't know if I'm gonna go ham. It will really depend on how my Locke pulls go. I love Edgar. He is a fuck boy, absolutely, and I love me some fuck boys. But honestly, like the thing is, and this is because I just don't do enough research, is for a lot of these upcoming units, I really don't know a lot about what they do. And I've been trying to save my resources like as much as possible, because I know that like Force Era is coming and everything, and that because C90 is like the easy era, like you really can get by without pulling for things, especially with Garnet, who if I don't get her burst on any of the banners, then I will token it. So I really have to ask myself, like, do I really want this character? Like, will I use them enough to warrant going for them? So I will try for Edgar. I probably won't gem him though.
Okay, I had to.
Who's he on the banner with?
Strago.
Okay, yeah, I already have Strago. I already have all of Strago's gear. But yeah, I mean, I'm so excited for Locke. Like, one of my best pulls ever was when his EX came out in the game, and it was a free multi. I got nothing, and then I did like a 5K gem multi, and I got his EX and his 35 in the same multi, which was like, you don't get that. You don't get that back then. Like, that was when you needed somebody's 35 to make their kit viable, like fucking Noctis. So Locke has a very soft spot in my heart for that, because that was like one of the first, like, really, I definitely still have a screenshot of that pull. But yeah, I'm excited that they're both getting their time in the sun. I just don't know enough about upcoming characters.
I can make a little like confession. Like, Locke would be a purely meta pool for me, because right now Locke is actually my lowest CP character. He only has his 35 CP, and it's at 1 limit break. So
get out.
That's how strong Locke is.
Fake fan.
I don't really care.
Fake fan.
I don't really care about Locke.
Then I swear to God, if you get his gear before I do.
Yeah, I'm not the one on a nice luck streak here.
Are you guys gonna pull battle for him?
That's the current plan, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll have to watch that one, because
Danger.
Rez is gonna be pissed if Jin gets it early.
I'll be fucking furious.
Okay, so Jin is going for the Locke then. Is there Jin, any of the other upcoming units that you're gonna go for? We got Zande, Tifa. Obviously, you're gonna go for Tifa. Obviously, that's a no-brainer.
I'm gonna get all the dupes I can get. Get all the dupe Tifa LDs I can get. No. Yeah, it's mainly just Locke, and then I'm gonna go for Papa Limo and Dessel just a little bit, because especially if I don't have the BT yet, but because I don't have either. But I'm gonna skip Edgar because I don't really care for him. I have Strago, so
okay.
Locke is the main. You're gonna keep going for his burst. Either get his burst or token it. Don't just go LD only.
Okay. So it seems like we're all on the Locke hype train. Forget Firion.
Oh yeah.
Even though Firion can solo the right side of Transcendent 7, so forget him, right?
Heck yeah.
I would green him if I had him, but I don't have him.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't either.
Forever Rachel.
Wait, 40. Do you have Firion?
Do I have his gear?
Burst?
I do, from when it first came out. I don't think I'm gonna green him. I think I'm gonna go and green. Well, if I can green Locke because of Garnet, I'm not sure if I can.
Okay,
but we'll see. I'll have to see, because yeah, Garnet's pretty powerful, and we'll get to that when we talk about her
very soon here. Yeah, all right then. I'll go for Locke. I never did the whole Locke thing on JP, so it's gonna be nice to try him out. You don't need a PhD to get his what was it? I don't remember. Was it his upgraded Brave attack? You got to have like Master Scrolls active and something else, and just damage.
Genji gloves.
Genji gloves. there you
Genji
go.
and Master
Genji
Scroll.
and Master Scrolls.
Yeah.
Freaking damage, yo. Y'all thought Machina could do damage. Holy crap! Look out for Locke. So definitely go for Locke, and then the others will just get tickets. Zonde, Edgar, Strago, Donkey Kong Country. Papalymo, I would love to get his gigs. I've always been a fan of Papalymo in this game. I love that he can alternate between fire and ice. So that would be really cool. And we will see. We'll see what happens. All right, so now we are on the main topic for tonight. Guys, the Global First Burst character for the 4th year anniversary. Okay, now, Rez, I want to know, did you flip a shit? Did you literally flip a shit when you saw her?
Okay, LIDZ, you would know that if you watched my video.
Oh, shit.
Like I watched yours. No, I'm just kidding.
Hold on.
Yes, I gave a headphone warning to everyone beforehand, just in case. So, like, and I did a massive one in the YouTube video. So if you did not listen to that warning, you have no one to blame but yourself. Anyway, yes,
right
I absolutely flipped out. Don't watch it with headphones on. But yeah, I flipped out. I mean, I love her. She's so fucking cute, and FF9 is one of my favorites. And yeah, when I saw her and Aqua together, the sisters, it just, oh my god. I didn't recognize the pair to Alexander either. So I did it, like, when I saw them on screen, it took like 3 seconds to register, and then I screamed, hyperventilated, you know, all of those like res reactions that I do when I'm flipping out. The reaction is entertaining though, but yeah, I did my best to save people's ears.
No, before
did you flip out?
Well, since you brought it on me, so at first, all right, when she got her burst. All right, now mind you, this is not taking away from Garnet. She's busted. She's great. I chased after her. I greened her. I was a little disappointed that I wasn't a new character. I was like, oh, maybe, you know, I wanted like Nanaki, Thunder God said a representative from Final Fantasy Tactics character. So from that standpoint alone, I was like, gosh damn it. But, you know, of course, once I always tell my viewers, once I get past that, let things sink in. Like, I'm happy that she got a burst. It's very exciting because she is a very, very powerful character. I believe that even before she got a burst, she's always been a strong character. Back during the 35 CP era, EX era, LD probably wasn't as crazy because during that time we just have so many viable units. And even now with her burst, oh man, she is just insane, right, Jen?
Yeah, I mean, I agreed with you on your stream. Like, I always prefer a newer character than an upgraded old character, just because I like to learn new kits. I like to see a new character and play with them, see what they're like, rather than upgraded character that I've played before and I know how she works. But that being said, like, I give a lot of like respect to the GL team for Dissidia because I really like how much effort they give to us. Like 3 events, a burst cycle, a new burst that JP doesn't have. I really like, mad respect. I really appreciate what they did for this anniversary, even though some small minority doesn't. But even though I was disappointed it was a new character, but I just love everything about the anniversary still. So yeah, she's busted. You have to green her. You have to get her burst. But even like LD only, like I didn't get her burst yet, but I used an LD only team for like the hardest fight in the Crevass, which was like 3 green, 3 staff. Like you literally have to have Zonde and Strago and Garnet to be able to do that. And with her LD only, I was still able to do that because she's just that strong. Like her follow-up now hits ridiculous amount. Like it will hit really hard. She enchants, and the fact that she goes so well with lightning, my green lightning. So just any turn stealer can just keep having her really strong follow-up attack, just deal damage all the time. Yeah. It's a no-brainer. I think it's unanimous that she's really strong. Most GL First, they sometimes have people like counting them out like Core and all those hot takes, but I don't think there's any hot takes on Garnet. She's just that strong. Like everyone knows
she's insane.
That she's just that strong. So at least this one's unanimous. There's no hot takes out there, right, LIDZ? You don't have a hot take.
Oh, I have. Oh my gosh, I have plenty hot takes about Garnet. Oh, she is so bad. So first and foremost, okay, she does not do the rainbow. Yagran does. Obviously, she's trash. Okay, second, she has 2 elements built into her kit. What? She's not strong enough for one element, so they had to give her 2 elements to make her that much stronger. Come on, obviously she is. Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know about that. And they had to give her a burst weapon just to try to make her good. So, easy skip. What do you think, 40?
I mean, she doesn't give free skills. She has no ice enchant. She doesn't have a ninja stance. You know, she doesn't have a burst effect where your stance makes it even worse because you're constantly taking turns. But I mean, she doesn't have that, so she's obviously trash, right?
Obviously.
I will add like one disclaimer that I don't like about her kit, like honestly though, is that I mean actually that gold buff is amazing because it does come with the burst finisher, and then so she leaves with some nice auras with that buff as well. But it is a buff and it does take up a buff slot, and her enchant also takes up a buff slot. So you have to, when you play with her, you have to actually have like quite a bit of buff slots open, so that removes some team building there. But otherwise, she's great. She does take up buff slots, but otherwise, obviously, she's really good. If you have filled up all your buff slots and you can't get that gold buff in there, then that's really silly.
So what did she get
But
that
yeah,
was new?
she's
She got the LD rework, right? She can now give her, she refreshes the uses for her skill 1, skill 2. Burst effect, that runs out. So it kind of works like Ace. Runs out, something happens, Megatron comes in, does damage, and then that's when your party members get that gold frame buff. And it was confirmed that that gold frame buff does push off, even if you have frame buffs on your party members, it does push one of those off because of the hierarchy.
Does it?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I thought Joshua confirmed that.
I think it does.
I don't have a burst. I haven't seen it in
That
action,
would make
but
sense.
If it does,
I would
then
have to check
that
that
does
out.
make it better. But it still is pushing off. It could be push off an important buff. So it's still not ideal, but I'd say like that's the only nitpick I'm gonna give on her kit. Otherwise, she's fantastic. Because you can run out of the enchant as well that comes from her EX. But otherwise, yeah, she's fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're like using like a lightning, for example, you can run out of her enchant, and then you can also, and if you're in her burst effect, then you don't want to use her EX when you're in her burst effect. So it's a small detail, I would say. Just putting it out there so people understand a little bit better how to play her. But otherwise, she's really strong.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
Oh yeah, and just you have to green her for the most powerful HP damage limit up 30%. That's really what makes her burst effect really strong, because you have like characters like Machina, Locke coming up, like they're hitting the HP damage cap so easily. So you want to increase that by 30%, and then I think with her blue armor it increases by another 10%. So 40% HP damage limit up would be
insane.
fantastic for your party. Insane. And so if you green her, you get two rounds of that as well. So and you get 2 times of the buff. So yeah, pretty nutty. She's pretty nutty for a easy era. So you can coast even easier.
And give that attacker your primary DPS and ultimate weapon, and holy shit, damage. It's gonna be.
I think a lot of people are giving Garnet the ultimate weapon too, which is damage as well. Yeah, because of all her follow-ups. Yeah.
Yeah, she does solid damage.
Now 40. I'm just curious, finding out about Garnet. Does this alternate some of your poll plans for the global side for any upcoming burst?
Not really. I still plan on getting Locke. I still plan on getting Laguna and Theodore and Zach. I know that's a lot. I think the one that I'm unsure of now is Snow. Snow's really good later on, like with his burst plus, like super good. Even up to now on JP, he's actually still pretty good. But that's probably one in the future that I'll probably consider not pulling on. But no, it didn't really change too much of my plans. So I still have my sights set on, the burst that I really want. Even though Garnet is ridiculously powerful now. And like I already have plans to take her to, what is it, Transcendence 9 alongside Vincent.
Oh,
That's gonna be
beautiful.
fun.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, Jen, I have a question for you, fam. Being, some of the OG players, we have a little bit more resources, planning, all that stuff. If you're a little bit of a newer player, though, would you recommend Garnet over some of these other upcoming burst characters?
Yes, just because she covers all the bases. Like, just get her and Locke, and you have all the bases covered that you really need. Because of the enchant and peril that overrides any magic resistance or issue, and that overrides any. So you can bring other characters that you have built to certain stages that lock out those. And she has heals, so you have a healer. Locke also heals, and yeah, a lot of upcoming units are great. Ramza is one of them that is probably a must pull as well. But Garnet is gonna be a unit that the content isn't planned for. That's why GL First generally are really strong, because they're very strong on release, and the content isn't planned for them, so they can make any of the harder upcoming fights, and they won't be locked out. Because sometimes in Squex, when they release like a character too strong, like Sid Reigns, and they'll lock out launch, for the upcoming fights, or Paladin Cecil, they locked out wholly afterwards. So Garnet will not be accounted for in upcoming fights. So maybe it's easy for veterans, but it might still be hard for newer players. So Garnet will help a lot, and you might be able to complete the hardest content for a long time.
Okay, great.
So yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
Rez, did you beat Final Fantasy IX in its entirety?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all
Love
right?
it.
That costume, is that a wedding costume? Is that like a royal costume?
I don't remember, honestly.
Okay.
I played it 5 years ago. So
Okay.
I think
But
it
I
was
loved
her
it.
coronation costume.
Coronation
Royal-
I think it's
costume.
the
Royal.
coronation costume. It's kind of like Ash.
She ain't no
I think
child
it's-
bride.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I never beat it. When I beat Kuja, that's when I beat the game. I didn't beat that bullshit thing that popped up right afterward. After that.
Right, like Yuna has a bride costume, because Seymour had a groom costume as well. Zayden doesn't have a groom costume.
Okay. And then Rez is gonna buy Seymour's groom costume. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it'll look fantastic on him.
Oh shit.
We'll have Seymour with
I
the
gotta
groom
go.
costume.
All right, guys,
and
this
I
has
will
been a
shut
great
this
show.
entire operation down.
So you did buy the costume, right, Rez? Of course, for Garnet, 100%.
Of course, I bought the costume. I bought the choco rod. I bought many things.
Oh, I have some good news, Rez. I just bought my first weapon gloss on Omnia, so there's that.
Hey, nice.
So, there
Wait, you
go.
didn't get the snowboard?
No.
What?
I usually don't, because I don't know. I've always found them.
It's a meme.
I know
Have you
they
seen
are.
Vayne with
I
snowboards?
like my characters with badass weapons, with the dark and with like nice highlights on them. And I don't want my Cloud rocking a snowboard. I want him to rock his freaking Buster Sword.
I mean, there are some characters where
Yeah.
I like want them to look cool and not memey, but it's still fun to do the memes. Like Pain looks so good with the snowboard. Like it works really well.
Yeah. So
Garland.
yeah, that's
I've only gotten 4 glasses, and they're the best ones. They're the snowboard, the Mog Fist, the Choco Rod, and the flower blow. The flower bow. The rest, they look pretty.
The
pretty
flower
weird
bow
to
was
me.
really pretty.
oh, the baby.
Hello, Zayden.
Hey, Zayden.
Hello.
Zayden, what do you think Garnet is bad? Tell us.
Oh my god.
Is that a monkey on his PJs?
Yeah, it is.
That's adorable.
Wife has to go do something, so
That's fine.
she's like, "Take Zayden. He's awake."
Guest star.
Oh, bless. Wait, did he sneeze or did he just lost his head? It was
No, that's my green screen doing its thing.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like big sneeze. He's so adorable. So freaking cute. So, all right, guys. But Garnet, guys, if you have yet to pick her up, if you're still undecided, luckily, I mean, we still have some time left, so you could decide. Watch the videos. Watch Jin Lee talk about it. Watch once they get once he gets her burst. Cause Jin, so you're gonna wait for a different banner, right? Possibly the seasonal banner to get her burst, because you don't have it yet.
Right. I'm gonna ticket both upcoming banners. Most likely, if people are wondering who will be on it,
Okay.
the Echo one used to be with Locke, but now most likely it'll be with Garnet. It was Echo and Vivi LDs with Garnet Burst, and then the next one was LSA, and if she moves up with the same exact banner as in JP, then it's with Bosch, but we don't know for sure. But LSA is pretty early time travel, and it's just going to be another chance for me to ticket her burst. Otherwise, I will token it afterwards.
Okay, awesome.
And we have free pools as well. So yeah,
that's correct. Just throwing this out there, guys. Please feel free to ask questions because we are getting near the tail end of the show. So please feel free, my fellow host. If you guys spot something, pull it out. Zayden, we're counting on you, bud. All right, so keep an eye out. Rez, have you had a chance to use her already? Do you like using?
I don't have her burst.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting. I ticketed. I already had Garnet LD. I really wanted Leila set LD, so I ticketed that and went over budget, but didn't go over my second limit budget. But I'm like Jen. I'm going to ticket the upcoming banners. If I don't get Garnet's burst on that, I will token it. But I mean, so far with just her LD, she's just like, I mean, doing 340k to 3 enemies each is just insane. But real quick, I found the screenshot of when I first pulled Locke's EX weapon along with his 35 and 3 copies of his 15 CP. And you can see in the corner, I had 330 gems.
What's your gem count now?
This was April 24th, 2019. Gem count, I'm hoping that I can hit Millionaires Club before Locke comes out.
330 gems.
I'm at 985.
Wow.
Show us resource management works.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's
resource management works. 2 years ago at this time, I was at 70k gems. Nice. Resource management.
Yeah, and then she met me, and then now she has almost 1 million gems. That's
yes, exactly. Cave res days, exactly. But yeah, I'm very excited to use Garnet once I get her burst. I'm just gonna be waiting until the banner cycles are done. Because my biggest fear is tokening a burst or pitying a burst and then ruining a potentially incredible luck sack later on. But I'm very excited to use her once I can get her.
That's probably the best advice, guys. If you haven't picked her up yet, don't do what LIDZ did and chase after. Don't. I know there was players that already burst token, but it is RNG. You never know. But we're getting free multis on the way. They confirmed it during the community live stream that we're going to be getting free multi-draw, so it's possible to pick up her burst weapon for free if her banners coming up do have a free multi-draw. So that's just, as Rez likes to say, a bad return on investment because now you are out 45 burst tokens. So, Ixmo, why are you pinging me? What's going on? What you do? Did you say that Rez's husbando Seymour again? She will ban you. I promise. So, all right, guys. Again, feel free to ask any questions if you do have any.
We do have one that Norbert / the Evil Nice Guy put in my Discord. So thank you for that. If you're still watching, and this one is actually perfect for me because, like you said, I'm all about that ROI. What unit have you gone all out for and didn't use much? So this is perfect because I recently put together a spreadsheet showing exactly what characters I've used in every Lufenia, and then the spreadsheet counts like how many times I've used that character total, and then compares it to the amount of resources that I spent on that character. So looking at the characters that I spent the most resources for, who I have not. Oh, Jen, I can see that you've joined in said spreadsheet as well.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah, probably the one that I've used the least, that I spent the most on, probably Zayden. And I went down to 10 tickets for him. I've used him in one thing. He was like pretty essential in that one Lufenia for Panda Lufenia, Lufenia Plus. But I have only used him once, and I spent 413 tickets on him. I am going to use him in one of the Crevass fights, but yeah, I definitely did not need to go that hard on him. If we're talking about actual real life resources, I bought the LD pack when it came out so that I could get Ishtola's LD and like, you know, not tempt myself to pull on that banner too. And I ended up using those tickets for Zayden and go over budget on that. I literally have not used Ishtola once, so I'd argue that ROI is worse because that was $75. So.
Shit.
But yeah, those are probably my two that I've spent like too much on. Yeah. What about you, Jen?
Was this in regards to Lufenia or just in general?
I think in general.
I mean, I probably like it's units that usually like when I go for like in terms of meta, just to have them like. I think like for example like General Leo, he was like really hyped and I just like okay I'll just get this delayer guy, but I like if the character is really strong and I don't like using him that much, then I don't think I've used General Leo like hardly ever. And like Aranea, like I didn't go that deep like you did, but like I barely used her on her initial release. So yeah, it's usually like when I pull hard for like meta and they're just really strong, I just like to have them, but I don't use them that much most of the time. Okay. What about you, LIDZ?
I am literally looking through my weapons right now. The most recent one that I can think about that I don't remember if I used tokens for her or not. I might have. Is Stola. And I probably used her once or twice and that's it. I used her when she first came out with the the Pandemonium, right? Our first Lufenia Plus. She wasn't even burst plussed. She was standard burst. You didn't even need it. And I just really haven't used her. Now mind you, I mean she's a good character. She's fine. I mean, I think Garnet at this point just overshadows her, but during the time I just didn't really use her. So that was just resources that could have gone to somebody else, you know? So, I would probably say that is my regret. I'm trying to think like way before that. I try not to regret my units, but probably Burst Plus I would say is viable. So I'm gonna say you stole it for me. How about you? How about you, Zayden?
Zayden, how about you? Who did you regret spending on?
Oh, he's pissed. I saw that.
So on JP it was Vayne when Vayne got his burst, because you know how Vayne was like the Cosmos killer, and I was like, yes, he's getting a burst in an LD, and I used him just for his own event where I had to play him differently because the boss would turn hop if you took too many turns. And then on global, as of recently, I don't know why I did this, but I pitied Caius BT.
Ooh.
And only used him on Transcendence 6.
Oof.
I don't know why I did that.
I mean, he does make Transcendence 6 a lot easier.
He does.
Right.
He does. And I think
so
that's
that could
the reason
be
why.
a good return in an investment, because that's a cancer fight.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, I haven't used him since.
Right.
And he's sitting there as a green. He's green on my global account. He's green. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are my two. Those are my two characters that I spent a bit too much, and I hardly used them. Yeah.
I mean, on a similar note, Blobs was asking, like, looking back at the past GL First weapons and characters, which one have you used the most, like GL First, and which one have you used the least? And if it's like, I can answer that first. Like Sarah's, if you're including Sarah in that like LD rework, then it's Sarah and Vincent that I've used the most because they're my favorites too. So when they upgrade a character that's one of my favorites, I love it and I'm gonna use them a lot. But Core is probably up there too, but the least definitely, like I mentioned, is Aranea because she was just too strong and she wasn't that much of a fave either. So I didn't use her. That's my answer. Garnet's probably good. It's hard to see how much I will use Garnet. We'll see. She might make content too easy, but I do love her. She's super cute, and yeah. So we'll see. What about you, Riz?
I'm trying to think. It's hard because I didn't track like chaos fights. I mean, RNA was so useful for so many chaos fights, and I'm just salty towards her because she was mean to me and didn't give me her LD after 400 tickets. But I'd say, I mean, looking at this, if we're talking about like the last year, I used all of the global first, like a decent amount. I used Balthier in 7 Lufenia fights, 1 Lufenia, like 7 Lufenia plus fights. I used Vincent in like 5 or something, Sarah in 10, Core in 12. So I've gotten like a lot of use out of all of them. Probably, and I hate to say this, but probably the one that I've used the least is Vivi. And I love him so much, and I've built him up, and I've used him in so many different things. I just haven't used him a ton in like Lufenias. But I'm excited for his C90. But if we're talking strictly about how many times I used him like in meta fights, I probably used Vivi the least. I'm ashamed.
That's okay. You're forgiven. It's fine. Not by the Final Fantasy IX fans, but you're forgiven by us. So, how about yourself, 40?
Oh, hold on. Sorry, what was the question? I'm trying to calm Zayden down.
Oh, Zayden is pissed because he's thinking back about the game. It's looking back at the global first weapons characters. This was asked by Blobs. Which global first character or weapon did you end up using the most or least?
The most, Arnea, because yeah, she was broken, but during that era, the least probably Balthier. Even though I praised Balthier like for his crazy auras, which were super competitive and really good back when he was a global, an early global LD. But yeah, I actually didn't use him much. I did not use him much, and I even bought the costume too, and the golden cactuar gun.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But I didn't use him much outside of his own event. I think I used him in like one other fight. I forget which one. I think it was it the Arciela Lufenia? Like Balthier. I think that was the one where Balthier was actually pretty good because he could deal with the orb. Yeah. That fight.
Yeah.
I used him for that.
He was good for, I think, Theodore's story fight too.
Oh, that's right. He was. I took Theodore there though.
I remember Rez used him for Arciela because I remember I popped in and
I can tell you exactly what I used him in. I used him in his initial Abyss. I used him in Jack Lost Chapter, in the Cryo Hope Boss Rush. I mean, I used him in a bunch of stuff, but yeah, used him in Arciela Lost Chapter.
I think his initial Abyss was really hard without him too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would say the same as 40, that Balthier, although Balthier, it was hype. I used him, I would say, the least. The most for me, global first, at the time was definitely Arnea. Oh my gosh, she made a lot of content easy. And I remember like players like, hey, that's cheating, making content easy. How do you save resources? Just shit on content and you're done. So she was a great unit to invest in. She carried for a long time, a very long time. I'm in love with the stripper. I'm a little disappointed in the animations. It's all just jumping in there, stripper pole dancing. That's all it is. I might have thrown some dollar bills at the screen. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, Arnea for sure. To date, I have used her the most. Now, I am gonna follow up with a question asked by Joy. So 40, I'm gonna start off with you. So everyone talks about what they are pulling, but what, if any, are units that you are not pulling? Who are you avoiding?
Who am I avoiding?
Yeah.
Well, I said earlier that I'm probably not gonna pull for Snow when his burst comes out. I'm not pulling for that burst, just because now that Garnet is out, I feel like Garnet is overkill. Locke is overkill, but I still want Locke. And then I gotta have Theodore. I gotta have Zach. I gotta have Laguna. And then after that, I could pretty much just coast. And Actually, what's in between? There's others that are coming out before Snow.
I don't care about Gilgamesh. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
don't
Kieran?
there's
care about
another one
Gilgamesh.
too. Yeah, there's another one that I'm probably gonna skip out on. Even though Gilgamesh is actually, he gets some pretty cool upgrades. Not gonna lie, but
Kefka?
no, I have Kefka already.
Kefka?
Units that, yeah, I think those are it.
Mm.
Just Gilgamesh and Snow that are upcoming later in the future. And then, well, if we're talking way down the line, like FR wise, I think I have to be wise about FRs because they don't drop nearly as often. Because right now on JP I have all of them, but on global,
You have all of them?
yeah,
It's 40.
I
He's
have all-
OP.
I have all of it.
40 has to have every
Oh
weapon
my
now.
God.
Godfather.
For showcases. I think I'm gonna skip out on like Desh and like Fujin and Reno. I hardly use them. I have them and they're just sitting there on JP like collecting dust, and there's no reason for me to pull for them especially because all I'm doing is using Cam, Titus, Kane, Cam, Titus, Kane. Well, now it's like Core, Tifa, Luna Freya. I'm probably skipping Bosch too. Or not Bosch, Braska. I don't know why I call them Bosch. Yeah. I think that's those are units that I'm planning on
Bronze.
probably skipping. I kind of want
Ooh.
Gabranth actually. He's pretty
I
fun.
love
Gabe?
Gabranth.
Let's go.
I love our boy Noah.
Okay. Okay. How about yourself, Jin? I'm curious.
About like who I'm skipping. I'm
Yeah.
skipping a lot. Like I would say, like for most people during this era, you can skip a lot of units and just rely on like the few good units because this era is not that difficult, and you're gonna want resources for the FR era, which requires building them a lot harder. So units that I would, it's easier if I say like the units I'm probably gonna pool. So like I'm going for Locke, going for Leila, going for Rem. Zach, obviously, I do have him already, so it doesn't matter too much. Rams I already have.
So you don't care about Cypher, is what you're telling me right now.
Cypher, no, I don't. I never liked Cypher
There you go.
in the game.
Okay.
And Cisne. Yeah, that's about it. Size 2 probably, and that's about it. Vincent's BT obviously, but if I have tokens, I can get it. I have his LD already. Yeah, then everybody else is kind of like maybe not, just some tickets. But those are my main hitters, I'd say, and the rest are skip until FR if I don't get them.
Okay, fair enough. Rez, how about yourself?
I'm looking at my planner right now. I've only got 2, 3. I've got 4 gem pulls before, maybe 5 gem pulls before Force era starts. That might change, and honestly, not that many ticket pulls either. I'm skipping a lot of banners, but I might add or subtract more gem pulls depending on how those gem pulls go, and also how my ticket pulls go. Because the whole way that I was able to get from 10 tickets to Zayden to like almost max in a couple months was I both skipped a bunch of banners and I switched to gems for a lot of those banners. So it'll really depend on how my resources are looking. But the banners that I'm gemming, Locke, potentially Leila, Rydia, Lulu, potentially Edge, and that's I might switch that around. There are some units I'm set to use like 300 tickets for, so I'll reevaluate. But yeah, at this point, going for just units I love.
Okay. I'm looking at the calendar. I on global, I tried to just throw tickets for a lot of these units, just swap it out. You know, I like messing around with different units. If I was low on resources, if I had to skip one, maybe Gilga for sure. I know Gilga's funny. Gilgamesh is funny. I liked him Mobius. I think that's what I've seen him before, but my first real interactions with him was like in that the gacha game that shut down, the Mobius Final Fantasy. He was in there. He was funny as shit. I liked him, but in Opera Omnia, for some reason, I don't like him. So aside from Gilga, Snow, I have this love-hate relationship with Snow. I hate that he mentions that he's a hero every like 5 minutes in the game, but he's good in Opera Omnia, but he's a damn hero. Like I got it, dude. I got it. So just Snow. Again, guys, I'm not taking away from the guy. He's great. He's a great unit. But at that point though, I would prefer Zach over Snow any day as my tank for my team. So I mean, Snow does some nice output damage and, you know, mitigations, but I don't know. Snow's a damn hero and annoyed the shit out of me. so yeah. All right. Do we have? Well, gosh damn it, 40. That one doesn't count. You can ask. Go ahead, 40.
I saw. Oh, you have a question, 40?
No, I didn't have a question.
You have a question, 40. I know that too. Okay.
Does LIDZ want Voltus 5 in DFFOO KEKW?
Of course. Of course.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's what Rez and Jin don't know about that.
No.
What?
We'll have to show you off stream.
It's not bad. It's from a game, Super Robot Wars. So
That I got.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. I'm sorry, Jen. You were saying? Did you find a question? The last one.
Well, I mean, I have a question that I saw. Is what characters did you get, which is surprisingly good when you had little expectations from them? And so, I mean, I can start first. I would say like, when I saw her kit, I did realize she was pretty good, but I didn't realize like how good. And I don't think she was properly hyped up. Was Maria, like her kit with the Brave gains and just keeping you safe all the time, like with her trap. She will just any Brave that enemy has will go to 0. She'll hit them, and then you can hit them again. I think Maria's was one of the units that flew under the radar that helps a lot of fights, and I used her quite a lot. And then the second one, like I don't have him green or anything, but Vayne.
Yeah.
Like, I was not expecting to use Vayne as much as I did, but he really put in work, and he was one of the really downtrodden like units that were like worst burst plus ever. And I do agree that his burst plus isn't fantastic, but himself has been very useful to like slog through some fights, and he just lasts forever. So yeah, I'd say Vayne. Vayne I've used much more than I've expected to. Those are my answers.
Yes, you have, and I make sure to point it out every time you do.
Yeah, you do. All right, what about you then, Rez?
Probably Sabin. I initially wasn't planning on going for him, and then I went for him because FF6. And then I ended up using him in like a lot more fights than I would have expected. Vayne I've used in probably the most Lufenia pluses besides, I think he's tied at this point with Machina. But I was always planning on using Vayne in as many fights as possible, and I greened him immediately, so that wasn't a surprise. But yeah, Sabin. And then if we go back further, a unit that I got a lot of use out of, in Lufenia era that I was not expecting was Gao. I fucking loved using Gao for a really long time. He was a lot of fun. I love counter characters, and I used him in like 6 Lufenias. So for a character that I got in like 22 tickets, that I was just going for the hell of it, FF6, I ended up using him a lot more, and he was pretty clutch, like in the fights that I used him in. So that was one. And then X-Death, that was one. I think that is my biggest one, X-Death, because I love turn hoggers. I was initially planning on going for X-Death, and then I was like, fuck, Burst Plus era is coming. I gotta skip him immediately. And then AFMA came out on his cycle, and I got 3 of his bursts, and I lucked act as LD. And I've used him. I haven't used him in a ton of stuff, just like 5 fights, but in those fights, he's been absolutely instrumental, and he has been so much fun. I'm going to use him in a Crevass fight, and so he's fantastic with turn hoggers like Terra and Vayne. So he's definitely one unit that I got a lot more out of than I thought I would. I actually used him in 8 fights. But what are you, 40?
Unit as of recent is probably Lena, because I pulled her on JP and I knew how good she was, but I didn't really use her, and now I'm using her a whole lot more. She's fantastic. Especially, I've been using her a lot with Sarah, who's another character I'm not really using a lot currently right now until now. Like, they're so good. They are so good together. And then if we're talking going way back, I'm actually with you on Gao. I used him a lot too. He's
Original full battle.
yeah, I know, right?
Way back in the day, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you knew Lena was good, though. I mean,
I knew
wouldn't say
Lena
she's
was good.
surprisingly good, though. But yeah, she's good.
Yeah, but I didn't really use her on JP, but I'm using her a whole lot now and on global, and she's I'm really reaping the benefits of just how good she is. She's really good. Put her with Sarah and
I think Lena was the one that overshadowed Maria, because most people were looking forward to Lena, and then Maria kind of got
Maria was
under the
so
radar.
fun.
Yeah.
That was a good pick. Okay. I was thinking back, and I want to say now I heard on JP, I heard she was good. I never got her, but on global I picked her up. For me, it was a Roa. I'm gonna say it was a Roja. I don't know why at the time I just thought she was just okay, and then I used her and I was like, oh, I like her, so I started using her a lot more often. You know, the refunds, the healing, the freaking Phoenix that she summons out. I don't know. I just liked her, and I was literally this close to blowing her. I was this freaking close. She has beautiful, gorgeous animations, I believe. So yeah, for me, for sure, it was definitely Eroa.
You can use her more with Lude now too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lude, Eroa, and Garnet. We go never run out of Brave.
Oh my god.
Oh, I need to try that. Hold on, I need to load that team up right now. Yo, that sounds dope. But yeah, for me, definitely for sure, it was Eroa. She just got a force, right, 40, not that long ago at JP?
Yes,
yeah.
She did.
Okay.
She did.
So I didn't go for it. I need to go for it on global for sure. So I will need to get that. So all right, friends. So that is it for tonight's episode of episode 16 for the Fireside Chat, covering the 4th year anniversary and giving our thoughts. So we greatly appreciate you guys joining. If my fellow host will please let our viewers know where they may find you, starting off with Rez.
Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Happy 4th anniversary for the game. As a day one player, it's been like crazy to see how far this game has come in 4 years. And I just hit my 2-year anniversary on YouTube. So
Nice.
Thanks, guys, for letting me be a part of this amazing community and welcoming me. So anyway, you can find me on YouTube and on Twitch and Discord, and you can find this bear anywhere where there's cheese.
So cute. Jin?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. And yeah, happy 4th, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for watching today, and happy Lunar New Year as well.
Gong hei fat choi.
Gong he fa choi.
Wait, how do you say that?
Gong he fa choi.
Kon he fa choi.
Close enough.
We're probably all butchering it because none of us are
probably.
actually Cantonese.
Okay, I am Chinese and I'm butchering it, so it's even worse.
Oh crap. How about yourself, 40?
You guys can find me in the multiverse. No, I'm just kidding. You guys can find me on YouTube. I recently came back there, on Twitch, Discord, Twitter. Again, happy 4 years to Global DFFOO and happy 5 years to JP DFFOO. It's crazy to see how far this game has come. Not just the game, but the community. The community is, to me, is the backbone of the game, because without a good community, no game. At least that's how I feel about it. And the community is really, really strong. So glad to be a part of it and continuing strong. Last but not least, Mr. LIDZ.
I agree 100%. Great community, guys. At least outside of the hot takers, but great community. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and in the Shadow Realm, getting shit on by them Master Duel meta decks. All right, friends. So we greatly appreciate you guys joining. Happy 4th year anniversary. Happy lunar anniversary, and we will see you guys on the next one. All right, take care. All right, bye.
Bye, guys.